It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You can also email me about anything and everything, randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. It is Friday, and Friday means totally open phones. You can call in right now about anything that's on your mind, anything you're thinking about going into the weekend. Maybe you'd like to talk about an issue that we discussed earlier in this week. I'm looking at the podcast from this week at kabc.com, where you could download every show we've ever done here. We talked about getting rid of the self-checkout lanes because that's being discussed in Sacramento, putting police back on LAUSD campuses, the expansion of Disneyland, and why so many people are not ready to get electric cars. You can also talk about anything you think we should have talked about. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. But as I always like to do on a happy hour Friday, is put out a real fun topic as well. And you know, we're gearing up for that summer travel season. You're probably starting to schedule where maybe you and your spouse or you and your family are going to go this summer. And there's a lot of trips that you can take by plane, but there's also a lot of trips you could take on the road. And something that I've been thinking about lately, especially since Gavin Newsom put out that California tourism video, is while the numbers that he put out were kind of crap, it still is a good thing if more and more people are touring all the great parts of California. And for us local Californians, I started to think about the fact that this state is so massive, and I really haven't seen that much of it. I mean, it's a huge state. I feel like I've seen some of the important parts, but there's a lot of California I haven't visited. So my question to you on this happy hour Friday at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, where is a great spot to vacation in the state of California? Where's a place you like to travel to in the state of California? 800-222-KABC. Now, you know me, the place I probably frequent the most would happen to be the Santa Ynez Valley in Santa Barbara County because, well, we're wine people and we love Pinot Noir and we love doing the wine tasting up in Santa Ynez Valley. At some point, I'm going to do a whole show just on Santa Ynez because I can tell you all the spots my wife and I like to go to, the places to taste, the dinner, the Hitching Post. I could talk about the Hitching Post for days. In fact, I think I have. But we've also gone a little further up. We've done Paso a couple of times, Paso Robles, which, you know, if you go up to 5, it's only like a 3-hour drive from the valley. It's an uglier drive than going up the 101, but you know what? It's pretty gorgeous up there. That's if you like bigger wine, like Zinfandels and Cabs, and we'd love to go to Dow up there. We're members of Dow. But, you know, we currently are mostly into wine, but it didn't always used to be that. When we used to be into beer, we used to go to San Diego pretty regularly. In fact, the first vacation I ever planned for my then girlfriend, now wife, was when we were together for 6 months. I was looking for something for us to do, and I knew that as long as she could travel somewhere with her dog, she'd be happy. So I started looking around and realized that San Diego's gorgeous. And in San Diego is a little place called Ocean Beach and Newport Avenue, which is where Dog Beach is. Now, we always had small dogs that didn't really care about Dog Beach, but I love that area. I love walking up and down Newport. There was so much traffic because there was some parade going on one day, and I remember we actually cooked inside the little cottage that we rented. It was the first time my wife ever made me pasta puttanesca, and it was very, very memorable. But that is a great place, great food, and of course, down in that part of San Diego, great beer. That is beer mecca for a lot of California. Modern Times is out there. Belching Beaver is out there. Stone is out there. I celebrated my 30th birthday down in San Diego beer country. Boy, have times changed. Another place that I have visited that I wish I would go back to is, a lot of people do Big Bear in the winter. I'm not really a snow sports person. I've gone skiing once, and it scared the crap out of me, and I'm convinced if I go again, I will break both my legs. But Big Bear in the summertime, we did that once and rented a house in Big Bear Lake, and it came with like little pontoon boat and some paddle boats. That was a really great time. Going out to Big Bear Lake in August is a wonderful time. That's my question to you. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Tell me a place you like to vacation to in the state of California. Tell me a place that you enjoy in this state, because you know what? There's a lot of beautiful places in the state of California. It's a massive state. Tell me where you like to take a road trip to. 800-222-KABC. Why don't we start with John in LA? John, hello.
Hey, Randy. Happy Friday. How are you?
Happy Friday. I'm doing great.
Awesome. Yeah. We usually like to go up there to, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Solvang, near Santa Barbara.
Oh, yeah. Solvang, the little Danish town.
Yeah. That's a really cool place. I love that place.
Yeah, that's right in the middle of the wine country that I visit frequently, and I love walking around there. The architecture is so unique. The food is great. There's a sausage place that's incredible. The pancakes are really good. That is a great spot.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
Hey,
Solvang, I love
Randy,
it.
I wanted to give a shout out to all the Mother's Days out there, to all the mothers on Mother's Day. And I want to thank
idea.
all the mothers. Without the mothers, none of us would have a bank account because we wouldn't be able to finish the application where it says mother's maiden name. So thank you, mothers, for that.
That's great. John, I love it. Thanks so much for the call, buddy. Appreciate it. Yes, it is Mother's Day this weekend. You want to shout out your mom? You could do that right here, 800-222-KABC. I'll tell you this. I'll give a shout out to my mother. I would not be into talk radio, let alone be in talk radio, if it wasn't for the fact that my mother and my father were both talk radio junkies. My dad liked to listen to Stern on KLSX. My mom liked to listen to KFI and KABC. In fact, her mom was a big Michael Jackson fan, but I remember being in the car at like 8 years old, and she was listening to the Phil Hendry show, and I was perplexed. What is this? Because I didn't know what the bit was. And there was someone calling in that just wanted to talk about how much his show sucked. And I remember that very distinctly. And of course, like she listened to John and Ken and all that other stuff too. Tell me about a place that you love to vacation to in the state of California. I'll tell you some of mine. You tell me some of yours, because I need to explore more of this state. At some point, I would like to live somewhere that's not Los Angeles, but I'd love to stay in California, so that's another part of this as well. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Doug in Orange. Doug, hello.
Hello. We're talking Bass Lake. It's right below Yosemite. In fact, you can go to Yosemite, about a 30-minute drive north, but still camp at Bass Lake. You can tent camp on one side of the lake. You can stay at a place called Ducey's, which is like a hotel resort on the other side of the lake, and have a swimming pool and all that. And it's a family thing you'd want to do every year with your young kids for sure. You water ski out there. You can rent sailboats. You can go kayaking. And it's a PG&E water reservoir type thing. So sometimes they mess around with the lake levels, but it's been something I've done for, 40 years.
I'm looking at the pictures right now. It looks totally beautiful out there. And it probably takes 3.5, maybe 4 hours to get out there?
Yeah, get out of there from Orange County. It's a little bit further than that, I think, but it's well worth it. Just the Yosemite thing alone adds a whole day to it, which makes it epic. But it's really like campfire and actual stake-type tents. If you want to go that route, you can bring a little motorhome up there, too. They've got something for everybody. Of course, the park rangers, they do a whole thing at nighttime about all the specialties of the forest around you, and it really is cool.
That's a great one. I'm going to write that down. That's Bass Lake near the Fresno, Yosemite area. Doug, thank you so much for the recommendation.
Yes.
Thank you. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Tell me about a place in the state of California that you like to visit, that you like to vacation to. The summer travel season is here, and I want to fill my calendar up. 800-222-KABC. I have been to Yosemite once, about 9 years ago. I'd love to go again. It is just gorgeous. Although I got to say, I went there in the middle of the drought, so you couldn't see a whole lot of waterfalling going on, but boy, it is just sort of hike around there to feel just how that is a really great place to center yourself with nature. Gorgeous. I'd love to go back there. Let's go to Jane in Huntington Beach. Jane, hello.
I think they met James in Huntington Beach.
Oh, wait, let's try this again. James in Huntington Beach. James, hello.
Let me just speak. Hey, you were talking about San Diego. I think that God picked up California and he shook it, and he kept shaking, and all the crap fell down south. The Clippers left there. The Chargers left there. I know the Padres are on their way out. They had an opportunity to build this place fresh. The architecture is horrible. I'm not talking about the homeless. Never mind, there's enough of them. You got OBPB, it's a party town. You got a border on one side. You got the Marines on the other side. You have the Navy on the other side. San Diego, Ocean, Dog Beach. If you're going to go to Dog Beach, you go to Huntington Beach. It's 9 miles worth of beach. There's nothing in San Diego. There's only corridors and traffic, and how they ruined that place is amazing, but they did. And I'm there every Friday, at least twice a week, and I go, well, how'd they do this? And everything is corridors to go in and out. There's no grid. There's no back way. You go that way, and it's the only way. You're going to go to Ocean Beach, you got one road. You're going to go downtown, you got one road. You're going to go to Mira Mesa, you got one road. Now, San Diego is the only place you shouldn't vacation. I think the best
All right,
place to
duly
vacation.
noted, James. Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. Sounds like I need to be getting my butt to Huntington Beach. One year I tried to go to as many beaches as I could in Southern California. Huntington Beach is always such a good time. Though I do remember swimming in that beach. That water can get strong. But yeah, I had a great time there. And yes, you can also tell me about places you like to vacation to within Southern California, because we got a lot of land out here. But here we go. We're talking vacation spots in the state of California. 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Matt in Redondo. Matt, hello.
How you doing?
Doing great.
Hello? Okay,
Hey.
yeah. The guy is talking about San Diego's smoking something. There are parts of San Diego that are great, but I'm going to talk about Carlsbad, almost to San Diego, but Carlsbad just a little town down there. It's got some great restaurants. You can drive up to Temecula for the wine country, and it's right on the ocean, and you can enjoy everything in Southern California that they have. So that's my point.
Carlsbad. I've driven through it many times. I think I've stopped at Legoland once, but yeah, I need to stop and explore the rest of Carlsbad. It sounds great. Thanks so much for the recommendation, Matt.
The mistake I made was I used to go down PCH and go through Carlsbad on PCH. One time there's a circular thing at Turnout, and I got up on the 2nd Street and State Street, and it was like I found a brand new city. All the restaurants are along State Street. They've got, it's a quaint little place that you got to go, at least for the weekend.
Oh, gosh, I'm looking at State Street right now. There's something I love about a little walkable downtown. That looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah, Bigalucci's, you have to go to Bigalucci's if you like Italian.
I do. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Matt. That is Carlsbad. Specifically, go up and down State Street. Wow. Yes. The one thing that I definitely look for in a vacation, it's one of the reasons why we go to Santa Fe all the time. I love a good walkable downtown. You've got good amenities. There's good restaurants, but I love being able to walk everywhere. It's just, that is my peaceful thing. And any place where I can do that, I get a lot of excitement out of that. That's why we loved Ocean Beach in San Diego. We had a cottage right there near Newport Avenue. We could walk everywhere around that little town. Great places. I love this. We're talking vacation spots in the state of California. Let's go to Larry in Palos Verdes. Larry, hello.
Hey, Randy. This is Larry. Just want to tell you, we really, really enjoy your show. Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you.
Hello, Randy. Okay.
Yeah.
Really love your show. This is a great place to go. It's Death Valley. It's starting to get a little warm down there, but we've been there twice. We stay at the Oasis. The food's excellent. There's tons of hikes, and my wife and I have gone there several times. We're in the car together. Say hi to Patty.
Hey, Patty.
And if you're on the way out, you go through all these canyons and whatnot, and there's an Air Force base out there that the F-16 fighter jets practice out there, and they turn sideways, and you'll be in a parking lot, and they wave to you. It's really just a fun place to go. It's about 4 hours away, about 5 hours away, and it's well worth the trip. We've been there twice. We're going to go again.
Oh, wow. You're really painting a picture to me. This sounds great. Now, what do you think the best time of year is to visit Death Valley or go to the Oasis?
January to March.
Yeah, January to March.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm always
They have
looking
a
for a
place-
vacation around then.
Yeah. Okay. We'll let you go. Have a great day, and you're doing a great job. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Larry and Patty out there in Palos Verdes. Thank you so much for the call. Wow. I love this. I would never think to, check out Death Valley, but now I got a recommendation. Now I'm going to look into it more. That sounds like a ton of fun, especially not in the summertime. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. It is totally open phones, but on this happy hour Friday, as we're starting to get into the summer travel season, I want to know places in the state of California that you like to visit. Maybe places the average person doesn't know about or doesn't think about. 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's a happy hour Friday. We're talking the great places to spend a little vacation right here in the state of California in our own backyard. If you got a place you like to visit in California that you'd like to let me and the audience know about, now's your time. 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Caroline in Santa Monica. Caroline, hello.
3 generations of my family go here. Bodega Bay, California.
Bodega Bay, where is that?
It's in Northern California. It's on the coast. It's where the Birds was. You ever see Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds?
Oh, yeah.
That's where it was set. And we would all go camping. I hate camping and I hate fish. But in Bodega Bay, I like camping and I like fish. And we've been doing it for generations. You would love the seafood because it's a seafood kind of town. And if you ever watch Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, that's where it was set. Bodega Bay, California. It's very famous for
now,
that. And it has
if
lots
I
of
go
other
to
stuff,
Bodega
like-
Bay and I start to see a flock of birds, am I going to freak out?
Yeah, well, no, not really, but you like food, so I mean, it's a seafood kind of town. I mean, when I was a kid, my uncles would catch the fish, and then my aunts would cook it, and I'd actually eat it, and I hate seafood.
That's incredible. Well, I love seafood, so I got to imagine that I'm really going to love Bodega Bay. Thank you so much for the call, Caroline. Appreciate it. You know, that is right up near the Santa Rosa area, the Russian River Valley, Sonoma County area. I've been to Russian River. I'm going to go to Russian River again soon. Russian River is gorgeous, and it's one of the few rivers in California that you can float and pretend like you're in Texas, except it's not 10,000 degrees and humid like Texas. But yeah, okay. Bodega Bay on the Sonoma coast. Looking great. Let's keep going here. How about Nick in San Diego? Nick, hello.
Hey, Randy. Hey, man, I listen to you from San Diego. Love your show. I'm driving south. I just played golf in Ojai, which I'd never been to Ojai. Ojai's amazing. But I got to mention 2 places. If you haven't been to Mammoth Lakes is incredible. Hiking, golf, fishing, amazing. And then La Quinta. Got to go to La Quinta. Great food.
Oh, I just
people,
stayed in La
golf.
Quinta. My wife wanted to go to the big horse show that's out there a few months ago, and we stayed in Old Town La Quinta. It is so cute around there. I love walking around.
Beautiful. And I got it to also Bodega Bay. I've been there several times. Amazing.
You're full
So
of great
Caroline's
suggestions. I love this. Nick,
I
thank you
am.
so much for all the suggestions. Love it.
Hey, man, I love your show. San Diego's got you, man.
We're so glad to have you. Spread the word. Thank you, Nick. And Mammoth, I've always wanted to go to Mammoth. We actually, our friends that live down the street, they are obsessed with snowboarding to the point where they bought a little condo in Mammoth, and we need to ask them if we could stay up there sometime. Again, I don't need to go during the snow season. I want to go during the dry season because, yes, the hiking looks incredible. 800-222-KEBC. We're going to keep going. We're talking recommendations for places to visit, to holiday, to vacation in the state of California. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC. Although the lines are jammed right now, so let me get to some more of these calls so we can open up a couple more lines. We're talking great places to spend a little vacation right here in the state of California. Let's go to John in Walnut. John, hello.
Yo, Randy. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I got to second one of your previous callers on Death Valley. Death Valley is otherworldly. It's like another planet. You can't really go there from June on because it starts getting in the low hundreds, but it's extremely scenic. It's the quietest place you'll be in California for sure. And but after the end of May, forget it. My first choice really was I take trips up to Burning Man every year. And I passed through a town north of Mono Lake. It's about an hour north. So that's it's called Bridgeport. Bridgeport, when you come into this valley, it's a huge, huge valley, and you see livestock forever. And then, but the backdrop to it is the Sierras. The Sierras are like the other end of the valley there, and they got snow capped year round, and there's a huge lake there. And every time I drive through there, it's like, I got to stop in this town. This place is amazing. It looks like heaven. It's unlike anything else in California. So Bridgeport, north of Lee Vining, north of Mono Lake, must see.
Wow, I'm looking at pictures right now. Apparently there's a hot spring there as well. It looks gorgeous.
It really is. I forgot about the hot springs. Yes, I know there's hot springs in the area.
Well, and it's got a population of 550 people, so if you really want to get away, that's the place to go to. Wow, this is so cool. It looks great. John, thank you so much for the suggestion. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for the call. 800-222-KABC. Some point we'll get John to call back and talk about Burning Man. I'm curious to what that's like. I've been to Coachella. I've been to EDC. I never did Burning Man. Let's go to Haas in San Diego. Haas, hello.
Hey, Randy, good job out there, man. I just want to second what James said. Don't come to San Diego. We moved here in 1971 when it was a little town, and the only thing that's a buffer between us and L.A. is Camp Pendleton. Place is horrible. Tonight there's a baseball game in Petco Park where the Dodgers will have home field advantage. Gaslamp will be full of Dodger fans. It's really awful for people from L.A. So be careful in here. But, yeah, the Carlsbad area, beautiful. It's next to the wine country. And your area, the beach, everything around Mission Bay is awesome, too. Good food and drink down there as well.
Yeah, I stayed at Mission Bay once, about 15 years ago. That was a really good time. But you're saying San Diego proper got ruined by L.A. people.
Only when the Dodgers are in town, actually. But what James said kind of cracked me up. Because we're going north to LAX right now, in fact, and going through LA is a nightmare for me.
Oh, I can imagine. I wish you luck, Haas. Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Jerry in West L.A. Jerry, hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Randy. A place you got me thinking going up the coast because I'm originally from the Bay Area, but I've lived in LA forever. As you go up the coast, you go to Sycamore Mineral Springs. It's right around the corner, about a half mile from Avila Beach. It's in this mountain area right on the ocean, and as you go up, there's all these natural springs. There's hotels, there's a million weddings, and they have these stairways to heaven, no speak each one, because as you walk up about 100 steps, you have your own platform deck, and you have a redwood tub spring, and you can have party out there, and there's about 20 of them, but you can't go from one to the other for the peeping toms because in between it all has poison oak. And it's one of the most beautiful, serene places I've ever been to. And then if you go further up north, you got Cambria. If you've been to Cambria, there's two sides, one on the ocean, and then the town of Cambria is beautiful. They have some of the best restaurants I've ever eaten in there. And then Paso Robles is an incredible, it's close to Lake Nacimiento, part wine country, great place to ski. Then the one last place is in Big Sur, and that's the Ventana Inn, and there's a Circle B Ranch. Ventana Inn, my wife and I stayed there for 2 nights. It was quite pricey, but it's without question. They have these Japanese baths, 2 of them, where the men enter from one side, the women enter from the other, and in the middle, only the couples can meet, and you can go all natural. Half of the roof is closed, the other half is looking to the stars. It's a slice of heaven, unlike anything I've lived in the state all my life. So those are just a few.
Oh, that's incredible. I love a good Japanese-style spa. That's what I get to do in Santa Fe. But, wow, I'm going to look at all of these. It looks like you slide right up the 101, a little past Pismo to get to Sycamore Mineral Springs. That looks really great. And thanks for all the other suggestions as well, Jerry.
All right, enjoy. We have a beautiful state. Don't be misled by all the craziness in the big cities, because 20 minutes out, 30 minutes an hour, you're in heaven. This is still a gorgeous state. With lots
you
of
are
places to enjoy.
100% right about that. This is a gorgeous state, and that's why we're celebrating it today. Thanks for the call, Jerry. Wow. A lot of information out of him. This is when it's really good to download the podcast of this show, because you could rewind and you can listen and write down all of these things. Because, boy, we're getting a lot of suggestions. I'm going to have to start filling up my calendar. But Sycamore Mineral Springs, Cambria, California. He says there's some great restaurants out there. I am getting excited. Oh, I love when we get to vacation season. Although the nice thing about California is you can really vacation to a lot of these places year-round, except for Death Valley, which got 2 nominations. Now I got to go to Death Valley. I'm excited. Let's go to Greg in Riverside. Greg, hello.
Hello. Thanks for taking my call. My favorite place is Oakland. Ha ha ha. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I think I've lived around this area all my life. Going to the beaches now to me is a struggle because it's so crowded. I love the water and all that stuff. I love the little shops by the beaches. Laguna Beach, there's Crystal Cove. That's a beautiful place. I mean, those are nice little places. I love going, but it's just too darn crowded. I like to go up to the mountains. I like to play with the bears. I love the sequoias. I love Yosemite. I'm a camper. I like to go camping. I like to be in the wilderness. I've met bears when I've been in sequoias. We used to go to this little valley up in the sequoias, and you could actually hear the bears. And you know, I've heard them on my campgrounds and all that stuff. And I'm not afraid of bears. I love animals. Speaking of that caller that just said about Bridgeport, also there's a town right by there that he probably would know. It's Bishop. Bishop's a cool little town. There's a lot of little fishing lakes and streams. That's pretty cool little town to visit. It's kind of like I think it's a little Dutch town, I believe. They have this bread there and beef jerky there that's out of this world. You have to wait in line for. I mean, it's like outrageous.
Oh, but now you're talking my language. I love good jerky, Greg.
Go there to Bishop. They have this jerky place that's outrageous. Outrageous. Can I make a kind of a off the road comment or something?
You can make a comment on whatever you want, Greg.
You know what? Whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, I am so upset about this fact that there was not funding for the cancer committee or whatever. They didn't fund cancer research or whatever. I just read little bits of it, and everybody has somebody involved with cancer, whether it's a family member, if it's a friend, and they didn't fund this. And so whoever did not fund this, shame on you.
You know what? You're totally right. That is a bipartisan issue that we should all get behind. And why aren't we funding more cancer research? Greg, thanks so much for all the suggestions. Really appreciate it. Now I'm really curious about the jerky in Bishop. We'll keep going here. Your suggestions for vacation spots in California. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. If you'd like to send me an email, you can do so, randykabc@gmail.com. Lucas writes in, hey, Randy, for Mother's Day, I'm taking my parents on a trip to the Central Coast. Because of your strong recommendation of the Hitching Post, we're going to the original, the Hitching Post 1 in Casamilla. We're having dinner there. We're really looking forward to it. Love what you're doing, especially the Friday happy hour segments. Lucas, that sounds like a great time. I'm super curious. Tell me about about it. I've been to the Hitching Post 2 in Buellton a gazillion times. I've never been to Hitching Post 1, Casamilla, which is a little north of Vandenberg, a little west of Orcutt. Tell me all about it. I can't wait to hear about it. As a thank you for everyone that supports this show, that listens, that tells their friends, that calls in their emails, here's a little gift from me to you. 790 KABC welcomes Heroes, a video game symphony featuring music from some of the gaming industry's most iconic titles, from Final Fantasy to Metal Gear Solid to Portal. It's all at the Hollywood Pantages Theater, one of my favorite venues in all of LA, July 6th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, but right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by Nederlander Concerts. Good luck dialing. More of your calls coming up in minutes right here on the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. I'm going to try to see if we can get to as many calls as possible. If I don't get to you, don't worry. We're going to do this topic again because this is too much fun. Your favorite places to vacation in California. Dana in Northridge. Dana, hello.
Hello, Randy. How are ya?
Great.
Okay. I just wanted to echo what Jerry shared about the Central Coast. Absolutely my favorite place, especially the Monterey Bay Peninsula. I love Carmel. It is pet friendly. We take our dog there. You can go to the restaurants. You can go to Dog Beach. It's just a wonderful, delightful place. Also on the peninsula is Asilomar, which is an incredibly historical place. You can actually stay there too at decent rates. It's just not pet friendly, so that's why we usually go to Carmel. But I just love that place. Can't say enough good things about it. The food, the outdoors. My favorite time to go is April, May, or October, November. Weather's best then.
Okay, that's what I'm doing this fall. I've been dying to go to Carmel. We were actually supposed to go in January, but our plans got canceled for something I can't get into. But I really want to go to Carmel. I love that you can walk all around there, and I love how dog-friendly it is. So you just sold me on that. I'm going to Carmel this fall. Dana, thanks so much for the call. Let's go to Ron in Brea. Ron, hello.
Hi. I'm going to go. First of all, Death Valley is awesome. I definitely would second the recommendation on that. But one of my favorite places right outside of Mammoth is Devil's Post Pile. Just great
Devil's
camping.
Post Pile?
And Devil's Post Pile. Just outside of Mammoth. Great hiking. It's beautiful in the Sierras there.
Wow, I've never even heard of it. I'm going to check it out. That looks great. Thanks so much for the call, Ron. Let's go to Kirk in Orange County. Kirk, hello.
Hey, Randy, this is Kirk in Orange County. One place I haven't heard mentioned that I think you might like is the Foothill Winery region around Sutter Creek in Amador County. Highway 49 kind of ties it all together. And there's lots of other little gold country towns along there like Auburn and Grass Valley, Nevada City, all really interesting and very walkable. There's some good food there in those areas too, so I just thought I'd throw that one out there.
That looks great. Sutter Creek. I love it. Thanks so much for the call, Kirk. Appreciate it. Let's go to Dale in Long Beach. Dale, hello.
Hello, Randy. Hey, being a foodie, I used to go down to San Diego to Little Italy.
Oh, that's great. I'm surprised LA never had a Little Italy, but I've heard great things about San Diego's Little Italy.
They did have Little Italy. It was where Chinatown used to be a long time ago.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's some good history.
Another thing is, I would like to thank my mother, because if my mother thought she felt like a man, I wouldn't be here right now. So thanks, Mom.
Thanks for the call, Dale. Appreciate it. Hey, love the shout-outs from Mom. Mother's Day's this weekend. Tom in L.A. Tom, hello.
Hey, Randy. Man, everyone keeps talking about Death Valley, but if I can make one more pitch, you're going to be in the lowest point in the continental U.S. at the Badwater Basin. You'll be at the highest point in California at Telescope Peak. And also, Randy, it's one of the few dark spots. I forgot what it's called, but it's open 24 hours, which means a lot of national parks close. You could drive anywhere in Death Valley National Park at any hour because they want you to take in the lights at night, seeing the stars and everything. So it's completely unique. You would love it.
This January, I'm going. This sounds like so much fun. Tom, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Mark in Lake Forest. Mark, hello.
Hey, Randy, great show. So
Big Pine is up towards Central California, right by Mount Whitney. It's a cool little town. There's a museum from all the old country westerns were filmed up there. Hollywood had a lot of filming up there, so there's a little museum for that. And then just north of Big Pine was a Japanese internment camp that they've turned into like a memorial museum that is a heck of a walkthrough. Sorry. It is amazing to go through, and it's very interesting to see. So that's a great weekend.
That sounds like a great time. Big Pine, thanks so much for the call. Barb, you got 30 seconds. Barb in Orange County, hello.
Hey, I'm in Lake Forest too. I wanted you to know about a light show in Paso Robles because I know you love wine tasting. It's called Sensorio, and in the evening you just drive over there, $100,000 bulbs, not dollars, glowing bulbs, and you walk around with a glass of wine in your hand and walk the property. It's really sensational, and it's called Sensorio.
Sensorio and Paso. Next time I go up there to pick up my Dow, I'm going. Thanks so much for the call. If we didn't get to you, don't worry. We'll do this topic again because it was so much fun. Thanks for all the calls, everybody. I'm going to be out next week. You're going to hear some of the best of the News Blitz with Randy Wang and some of the segments when I filtered for John Phillips a few weeks ago. But I'll be back soon enough. We'll do this together again. Thanks so much for being a part of this show. It is a dream come true doing this every day, 5 to 6, with you on Talk Radio 790 KABC.